Try and keep you guys up to date with what's going on with us. But I'm out there right now trying to find a companion. I find myself in my 60s dating again. And it's a totally different experience after 40 years where we weren't doing it. At any rate, as an elder comic, I'm the only one in the room who is a falling hazard, except for a couple of people who in a couple of hours will have too much to drink and they'll be falling themselves. So I'm Rich Kincaid, as I mentioned. I'm the son of Richard Kincaid. I could have been a dick. My dad certainly was. He went by Dick Kincaid, right? That was a pretty common name back then. It didn't mean you were a dick. All right, it was just kind of the president of the United States was named. He was a dick, Dick Nixon. Actually, bad example. He actually was a dick, right? So we'll pass on that. All right, I mentioned I'm out there dating. I play in the senior division. It's a tough division, guys. All those girls out there have either heard it all or they know somebody who has. I told that to a lady one time. I said, I'm in the senior division. She says, do you play hockey? I said, no, I do something where you can actually get hurt. I go out and date, all right? So I found a place, a supermarket, where I can go on Tuesdays, where they have a senior discount. It's 10% off, all right? 10% off to a senior, that's just catnip. All right, they're gonna be there. So what this provides me with is a target-rich environment. On Tuesday, all these old ladies, and that's what I'm looking for, basically, as old ladies. I'm looking to bang your grandma. All right, that's the exact, right? That's our entire gig right here, all right? So my wife told me that women appreciate a well-dressed man. So when I go to this grocery store for the 10% off and the ladies, I'm generally wearing a blazer, dress slack, I want to look nice, all right? She didn't say good looking, she said well-dressed. All right, so I go to the supermarket and you start to scan. By the first place to look, obviously, is the liquor department, the beer, the wine, all right? Especially watch for a lady who's tearing the top off a box of wine and sticking her face down into it. That's when you want to keep an eye on. The next place you want to look for a lady is probably frozen foods. All right, nice and chilly in there on a July day, and, well, frankly, it's all about the nips, right? It's all about the nipples back there. In my case, it's my nipples. Turns out I like that a lot, so I hang out in the frozen food department. If a lady happens by and I'm not preoccupied, I'll talk to her. Third place, maybe the best place to find a lady at a grocery store is the lost and found. In case they wander away from the herd, okay? I'm the wildebeest out there. That's the prey. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a AAA woman. I'm looking for a gal who's attractive. I'm looking for a gal who's age appropriate. And I'm looking for a girl who's into animals. So let's, I hate having to have an anal joke in there, but everybody does, and I just want to fit in with the gang. So I stuck that in there, all right? Let's go back, as far as attractive is concerned, an attractive woman, I'll tell you what, we guys, we can work with a lot, all right? I might see a gal and say, oh my God, she's got lovely hair. That's so nice. Or I might say, oh, look at her manicure, look at her nails. Long, cherry red, they're beautiful. I can just imagine them wrapped around the shaft of the long, hard pen signing away her power of attorney to me. And the third, well, they also, of course, have to be age appropriate, and what that means, of course, is legal here in the state of Michigan. So, and I've taken a lot of steps in terms of appearance. Again, I want to look good when I'm out there with the ladies. And frankly, I'm trying to play their game, all right? Girls will routinely go, for example, to Macy's, to the Clinique counter. It's very expensive cosmetic. Well, my wife had some of that. I was happening by one day, and the lady says, we have it for men. So I tried it out. Not bad, okay? I dropped like $200 there one time, more than my monthly weed budget. All right, but the stuff looked, it's okay. I put it on, I spent my $200, and I look 2 or 3 weeks younger. There's no question about that. All right? My hair, I've talked to a lady who spent $130 every 3 weeks she sent it on her hair. So I'm down with that. So now I spent a little bit more of a haircut, but I go see Michelle, and she's a magician. All right? I'm not, this isn't a comb over. The Gordie Howe Bridge is a comb over. All right, we got strands up here that can actually span the river, as a matter of fact. And the third thing, I guess, I see a lady and I get my nails done. So I've got a lady who's taking care of my hair. I take a couple of facials each and every day. I get my nails done. And I'm very concerned the next month I'm going to ovulate. I know. I got to fix that joke. It's a good joke. It just doesn't work on ovulate. Next month I'm afraid I'm going to get a menstrual cramp. All right, that did better. All right, I'm Rich Kincaid. Thanks for bearing with me, and I'll look forward to seeing you again soon.
Give it up, Rich Kincaid, everybody. Rich Kincaid. All right, everybody. Your next comedian coming to the stage. He hosts the P-Boys podcast out of Paradiso Studios in Southfield, Michigan. Put your hands together for Joseph Neighbors!
How are we doing tonight?
Good, man!
Damn, dude, this is like the best crowd I've seen in a while.
Yeah!
Thankfully, no one's gonna listening, so that's really, reassuring. Yeah, guys, anyone else getting really tired of this fucking Gaza bullshit? Anyone else? Only me? Yeah. Yeah, this is a pro-Israel crowd, I think. No, dude, I'm getting real fucking tired. Every time going on Google, looking up Arab girls strip, and then it's just fucking dead bodies everywhere. I'm like, I don't want to be looking at a Gaza strip right now. I want some hairy pussies or something. Yeah. That's a new one. You guys looked like a crowd that would really like that one, so that's why I was like, I'll let them in. Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of eating pussy because I don't want to get.
Eat the pussy!
No, I don't want to get a UTI in my mouth. You know, I don't know if that's how that works. Urinary throat infection or something. I don't know. No, actually, I don't eat pussy because I don't want to get. Fuck, this is such a good punchline, but I don't remember. No, I don't eat pussy because I don't want to get an IUD stuck in my tongue. That would hurt, right? That one's not as clever as the first one. I think the first one was a bit better. Yeah, what else? A lot of people know I'm a big movie fan. You guys movie fans? Yeah. Yeah, I love movies. I want to make a movie where it's a Lebanese lady moves to Miami. She rises the ranks, becomes the top coke killer in the country. And you call it Scarface, right? Because she has the, Yeah, that is a good one. Okay. There you go. The one other Arab in the audience, guys. It says more about him than me, really. No, I want to make another movie. You guys seen that movie Split? The guy with the multiple personalities? Yeah, I want to make a version where just one of the personalities is just super gay, and then like halfway through blowing a guy, he changes back. He's like, "What am I doing?" And I call it Split Me Open, right? Because he fucking takes it up the ass or whatever. I don't know, I'm not gay. I don't know what they do.
Keep that one.
Yeah. Not in Ferndale, but other places I keep going. Yeah, I don't know. I'm working on this new character. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I call it a Jewish Joker. He's just like regular Joker, but he got a fucked up circumcision. So he's like, "You want to know how I got these scars?" And he whips his cock out. And yeah, all right. People usually like that. Thank you, man. He got like a red lipstick. He dyed his pubes green. He's going all out. Also, this Joker, he's also super big into Israel. He won't shut the fuck up about it. He flies home to defend the motherland. He's like, "Let's put a smile under that burqa." All right, cool. Yeah. This really is a pro-Israel crowd. You guys are not looking at that. No. Yeah, on my way here, I saw this homeless guy. He was like catcalling this hot chick walking by. He's like, "Hey, where are you going?" I was like, "Hey, man, I don't know this lady, but I'm pretty sure she's not going to lay down on piles of blankets and cardboard. She didn't seem like this. I don't know too much about women, but I know they typically like guys with stuff, and this guy didn't have a whole lot of that, I don't even know if he had a dick. He fucking, he had no legs. It was fucking, I don't know how high up that shit went. Right, what's happening with all these homeless guys losing their legs? Damn, that was fucked up. I felt bad for it. I was like, it had to have worked at some point, these homeless catcalls, because they keep trying it. Part of me was like, I'll go blow the guy just so he, feels a bit better. But I realized, I think that's what they have their little dogs for. The homeless dogs. They breed them for sucking their dick or something. I don't know. Yeah, what else? What else can I talk about you guys won't like? Yeah, you know, as I realized I've been getting a lot more acne on my dick lately. Has that happened to anyone else? I got a lot of acne on my penis. Only me? Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. I never knew that your dick. I went to the doctor. Turns out it's AIDS. So I don't know if I'm jerking off too much or not enough. It's probably both, honestly. Yeah, no, I tried. I remember at my last job, I tried to jerk off in the bathroom there. It got interrupted though because someone walked in and they said, "What are you sitting in the sink for?" And I was like, "It's a better angle, you know? It's perfectly shaped for." Fucking, I wrote this joke like 3 months ago. I don't remember what references I had. No, I kind of like them. I think they should do more. Like they could do an all-black version of Seinfeld, right? You know, just knock off the D, call it Seinfeld. Yeah. Instead of Jerry, he's Jerry Curl. That's been clever. Yeah. It wouldn't be that different for regular Seinfeld either. Like George, he could still be bald and unemployed. And Kramer, he'd be allowed to say the N-word, so he might like that. Yeah, I don't know. I just like the image of Jerry Seinfeld doing Def Jam comedy. You know, there's a Jerry Seinfeld, big suit. He's like, "What's the deal with all these white bitches trying to take my money and shit?" And fucking, I've never seen Def Jam, if you guys couldn't tell. That's just guessing. This is probably what they talk about. What else? Jews. I talked about them a bunch. I can't keep... Matt's here. I don't want to, you know, I don't know. I can't think of anything else. I've been Joseph. Give it up one more time for Paul. Yeah.
Give it up for Joseph Naaman, everybody. Joseph Naaman. All right. Hey, Ron, can you have me let's real quick. Thanks. Sometimes my memory is really good, and then sometimes I'm like, "Ooh, what did I just read?" Have you ever do that? Anybody else have ADD? Is it just me?
Call the same person.
Clap if you have ADD, everybody. Clap if you have ADD.
I probably do.
Okay. You guys are focused, like none whatsoever. Hey, fun fact, on my football team, I got like 5 kids that have ADD, and like, they'll have a breakdown during the game, and I'll try to explain to the coach, I'm like, look, it's not their fault, okay? Sometimes you get a big play, and sometimes you get...
Hello. You know, I always look forward to the look of disappointment on everyone's face when I get up to the stage. You know, when they say my name and then you see my face, I'm not the Scott Smith you were looking for. I know you all know one. There's thousands of us, so the probability is pretty high. So high, in fact. There's actually 2 Scott Smiths in my company. There used to be 3, but we're eliminating them by force. You know, it's interesting though, right? One of them is, you know, really good at their job. The other one is me. We have a little bit of a competition though. Like, we're very competitive or friendly about it. But last year, I did get the most sales award, right? Shipped right to my house. It's for the other Scott, but I'm keeping it. You know, it's my boss's mistake. I'm not going to say anything about it. You know, it's if you look over at this beer, you can't see it, but I actually drinking non-alcoholic beer. It's not because I like the flavor of beer-flavored water. I actually gave up drinking 4 years ago, right before COVID. So made a pretty big commitment and then just got shut off from the world. But it was a pretty big change in my life. I'd always been a big drinker. Just decided to cut cold turkey. But through that process, my wife and I were thinking it would make a lot of sense if every time I wanted to get a drink, I would put that money in a bank account, right, to save that money away. And about a month later, my wife and I had enough money to buy our first house in cash. So I may have had a little bit of a problem at the end of it. You know, I mentioned my wife. She's actually beautiful, complete smoke show. I definitely won out on that lottery, beat the other Scott Smith for sure. The thing about it though is, my wife is so beautiful. Sometimes people will ask, you know, Scott, how on earth did you pick up a woman like that? And I just tell them, you know, I just lifted with my legs, so I did my back. You know, it's interesting. We have 2 totally different careers, going totally different directions. You know, she's a writer. I'm a consultant, which means she writes books and I cook the books. It's interesting though, because at the end of the day, she's Jamaican, I'm American, so our kid is Jamaican. She's a very smart kid. She gets it from her mother. I know that because my wife told me. Yeah, it's interesting though, kind of being in this consulting space, right? Whenever people find out that I'm a consultant, usually they sour their face, right? I blame McKinsey. They do a lot of terrible things, and oftentimes someone will ask me, "Are you one of those consultants who get paid to fire people?" Right? And of course not. I do that part for free. Right? I would never get paid to fire people. But it's an interesting job, right? Being a consultant. That right when the plane lands, and you've probably all seen this because I've seen all of you do this. As soon as the plane lands, the seatbelt button or light will go off. Everyone changes into two different people immediately, right? There are the standers, like myself. Right? Any standers, it's okay. It's a safe space. Anyone stand when the plane lands, right? It's okay. Right? I thank you for being honest. It's all right. We'll see you on the plane. You're the right God-fearing people. But then there's the standers, like myself and those, and the sitters. And you can tell who the sitters are because they're sitting with the stander's crotch right in their face. Right? And my crotch in your face is a small price for you to pay for me to get off the plane 5 seconds faster. Okay? I'm not stopping. Consulting's a pretty good job. I'm not going to lie. I had that job. I'm not worried about someone beating me up or hurting me. It's nothing like my first job as a high school teacher. That was a little different. High school kids are crazy. They will make fun of you for absolutely anything at all at any time. I actually didn't have a beard to get the kids to stop calling me Clark Kent. It backfired. Yeah. So it backfired though because instead of Clark Kent, I then became Stranger Danger. Not a great look for my first year of teaching. In my first year though, it was remarkable. I came from a decent school district, so I didn't understand how underfunded a lot of schools were. The school that I was in had a pretty big problem, right? Pretty big funding gap. And the administration said that they would be instituting drastic measures to help close that gap. And if you've never worked in public education before, the term drastic measures is just a code word for a bake sale. Yeah. So our school's plan was a bake sale to close the gap. And to be honest, after years of the bake sale method, I can tell you with confidence that it's just as effective at addressing the crisis in our schools as have been thoughts and prayers. So if the bake sale method is a failure and the thoughts and prayers continue to be unanswered, right, you can always apply for grants, right, which is a weird experience because you apply for grants from the same agency that took the money away from you in the first place. A little weird. It's kind of like writing a very detailed love letter to the person who stole your wallet. Just need a couple of 20s to get by. But at the end of the day, right, some things do get funded, right? So anyone have any kids besides myself? Might be a very different demographic that I'm usually talking to. But if you have kids, just for everybody to know, if you have kids still in school, what that means is every morning we have free and reduced lunch, right? So my daughter can choose from 3 very healthy options, right? She can choose between a cereal bar, a Pop-Tart, or if she's feeling fancy and international, she can also choose a toaster strudel. And in order to pass the bill, they agreed to change the food pyramid to the diabetes rectangle. It was hotly contested. No, I don't mind being up on stage. It's normally when I'm on the ground I get uncomfortable. I struggle with it being an introvert, right? And I like having this distance, right? I'm just not good in the stranger conversations, right? So much so that sometimes I find myself just wandering aimlessly around a grocery store simply because I don't want to talk to a clerk for help, right? Just a stranger with a name tag when you really think about it. We put a lot of trust in them. We tell them a lot of things about the diarrhea medicine that we need, and it's very strange just because I have a name tag. But to be fair, right, my clerk avoidance strategy has worked just fine for a very long time, until very recently, when they started putting things like cough medicine behind security glass. So whoever's out there stealing cough medicine, I just want you to know that I reserve a very special place for you in hell. Right? Now, at the end of the day, though, I have noticed that they still leave all the children's drugs out in the open. Right? You're still very much accessible. Right? So now I have a choice. Do I, want to talk to a stranger to get the adult ones, or do I want to try to sneak through self-checkout with 20 bottles of children's cough medicine? Yeah, a little suspicious, right? So I've created a third option. I now have my 6-year-old daughter buy all my drugs for me. It's show and kind. No one's carding her. It works just fine. Now, I get worried about my daughter seeing photos she shouldn't see, right? She's 6 years old. Can make her very upset. Just the other day, she saw a photo that I just can't take back from her eyes. It was a picture from a wedding from before she was born. She's still pissed that she wasn't allowed to be in the photo. But after I got her pictured out and everything, we walked through and talked about the wedding, and it was a great wedding. It was actually my brother's wedding. I was the best man, right? And my mom at the time was an award-winning wedding planner, which is a fantastic job to have, except for your wedding, because when your mom is the wedding planner, the whole bridal party also becomes the event staff. Right? So I was both the arranger of chairs, the bringer of flowers, and the Lord of the Rings. I had a lot of responsibility. on the day, right? But at the end of the day, my biggest responsibility as the best man was to sign the marriage license, right? And so after the wedding, we go through and we're in the back with the minister and everybody else. And regrettably, I hadn't stopped drinking yet, so I was a little bit knocked out at that point. And so I go to sign the marriage license, and I sign in the wrong spot. So, for about 5 minutes, on the day of my brother's wedding, I'm married to my now sister-in-law. Yeah, very Game of Thrones situation I've created for the family. Right? Not the best look. It could have been worse, right? I could have been married to my brother for 5 minutes. That's a very south of the Mason-Dixie situation for us. And so, we cleared everything up. Everything worked out just fine. And, as a good younger brother, years later, sometimes I'll just call him up and check in how he's doing being married to my ex-wife. I'm going to close out with one quick thing. I know we didn't have a lot of parents, but those folks who are out there, who are thinking about having kids, right? Just a quick public service announcement when you have those children, all right? We are really doing our children a disservice by not telling them that we can see them when we're playing hide and seek. We are, right? We're making it much too easy for them to be kidnapped. It's a very big problem, right? I don't know the specific numbers on that, right? That'd be a very difficult thing to actually calculate. Could you imagine being at the park, none of you, maybe you'd be approaching me in this scenario, coming up to me and saying, sir, excuse me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how capturable do you think your child is? An 8? Oh, great. And which one is yours? Can you point them out? Yeah, thank you. That'd probably not go over very well. All right, that's all. Thanks. Have a good night, everybody.
Keep it going, everybody. Keep it going.
Great job. How capturable is your child?
It's a good question. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people would be like a 1, Your next meeting, everybody, if I had to put it on a capturable scale, sir, you might rank a 1. Everybody, put your hands together all the way from Fowlerville. Woo! Jacob Martin, everybody. Jacob Martin.
Am I close enough to you guys? Awkward at all. There's no, I think people, when they look at me and they go, oh, that must be hard being, in a wheelchair. And I'm always like, I don't think I've found a negative to being in a wheelchair yet. Like, I don't think I've touched a door in 6 years. And I'm talking about even once automatic, people will still be like, oh, I got it. It's like, I'm always just like, bro, you're not gonna go to heaven for this favor. I don't know why I just got up there going, all right, Bill's a pretty good guy. I'm just murdering his children. But I think one of the best things is that most of my friends who all are married and have kids, houses aren't wheelchair accessible. Oh, dude, it's the best thing not to go to your fucking 3-year-old's birthday party. I'm divorced, crippled. Why am I there? They're not my kids. They're nice, I guess. And actually, one positive thing that came out of that, though, because I just feel like I'm not welcome in anyone's house. I never felt more like a black guy in my life. That feels like, they were like, sorry, we can't help you come in here. I'm like, bro, it's 2 steps. But, sorry, we're good.
Check it in.
Yeah, it's just weird. I was bedridden for 2 years with a bed sore, and I broke my left arm in bed. That's hard to do, even on purpose. But it's weird. So I watch a lot of, I'm in bed all day, so I'm watching a lot of movies, documentaries on Amazon, and I found a weird one. It was about a Nazi soldier who worked at the camps, and he was closeted gay, and I was like, wait, are we trying to be like, hey, we know we did some bad stuff, guys, but it's like, bro, I'm not gonna forgive you for being a chubby chaser and you can't find anyone there, dude. What do you want me to do? And I know people I know that might sound anti-Semitic, But I am in a wheelchair, so I'm kind of having my own Holocaust right now. So I know I just said to my Jewish mate, he's always just like, eh. But yeah, I also obviously watch porn. Yeah. I just feel like it's gotten to a point. I feel like even porn's kind of like, what are we doing here? Like, especially gay porn. Sorry.
What?
Gay for gay porn. It's not bad stuff. Pretty good stuff.
What?
Well, look, I looked, and the title said "Men in Sweatpants," and I was like, okay, like what kind of sweatpants? Like Jordans, Nike, Under Armour? God forbid, is it like Fruit of the Loom? And I go on there, and I'm just like, it's just two dudes in sweatpants, and they take the sweatpants off, and that's it. Sorry, I don't have a punchline to that. That happened to me. Like I've been thinking about that for like the last 4 weeks. I'm just like, gay sweatpants or just no? I guess not. But I don't know. I did go. And this might be awkward, but my first gay sex club. I never went to one before. The guys was like, "Oh, hey, it's an after party." I was like, "Cool." I'm like, he's like, "Well, I own the bar, so you can get in for free." I'm like, "I think everybody does. It's an after party. It's closed." And wow, I've never been to one. I can't wait to go back to one again because there's nothing funnier than rolling around and some guys are just like, "Oh, sorry. Want to touch it? Want it? No? Okay, no problem." Just goes right back to like fucking nothing. I'm just like, how do people go there? Dude, we're hailed by just I don't know how many dudes. There were 6 I saw. So I was like, 6 dudes. That poor guy. Like, I gotta feel bad for the guy who tops. But like, I don't know. It's my sorry. But yeah, I've been divorced. I did get divorced though. A couple years ago, COVID happened. She kept going to fuck dudes. I was like, I'll do that too. But I was like, dude, we talk about the same thing. It's fucking awesome. But it's it's my first time doing this in a while, so I'm like shaking off the rust. But I also, again, am in a wheelchair. So for you guys not to clap, kind of a dick move on your part. I'm always like, oh, there's more. I swear, I got more stuff, I swear. I think I did today. I was just like, yeah, I got this 3-4 things here. Then I was like, fuck, what did I think about now? But yeah, that's all the time I had because I kind of forgot how I was going to end it. Actually, no, now I remember it. Sorry, in my head, I legit have to I know, I hate to say this, I have ADHD. It got worse after the accident. So it's kind of like a radio playing the entire time, all day and night, and it's hard to fucking sleep. Which then leads to me looking at porn, just on more, I guess. But I feel like once I came out of the house, I just remember being like, wow, there's stuff out here that's not on a screen. Kind of sucks. I just look like I'm so wise. I've been watching a lot of good movies. I'm like, nope. A bunch of John Wick movies. Made in Manhattan one time, accidental. Don't like J-Lo, but that's another story. But anyway, we're back here. I had to tell myself previously on Jake driving a car, literally in driving. I'm like, oh shit! I'm not kidding. I actually drove straight for a couple miles. I got pulled over, and the cop looked at me and goes, "Do you know where you are?" I go, "Yeah." In a state? And he goes, "Are you on anything?" I was like, "No." He said, "Well, you want to get out of the car to maybe walk a straight line?" And I was like, "How dare you, sir? I'm in a wheelchair." He goes, "No." He sees the back and he immediately just goes, "Can you roll straight?" And I'm like, "It's a fucking goddamn... What am I not doing?" But also, I'm going to give this a treat for you guys. I haven't done this before in public, but we're going to go on a ride together. Whoa! Wait. I'm not done. I'm still growing. Special effects. This guy, I'm still growing. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Oh yeah. Oh, I get it. This is, I mean, dude, I'm the best of both worlds, I feel like. You're ruining my set. I can't even get on fucking stage. But yeah, no, I was at the bar. I did ask the girl, I was like, hey, do you think like you would want the tall guy or the short guy? And she seemed like kind of weirded out about it. And I was just like, well, I just want to know for myself. And she goes, well, why would you ever want to be the short guy? And I was just like, she has the fucking point. Like, who the fuck? That's why I like being like this. I'm the tallest, like, chill dude in this bar. I know that. I don't know how many tall guys can do this all day. That's it. But okay, that's all I got. It was terrible, but thank you guys so much.
Give it up for Jacob Martin, everybody. Jacob Martin. Jake, did you drive all the way here from Fowlerville?
Yeah,
Man, you're a man. You're the man.
I'm okay.
Nice. All right, everybody. Your next comedian coming to the stage all the way from Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. Everybody, put your hands together for Steve Widzinski. What's up, New Way? How we doing? Let's get another round of applause for Jacob. What he did takes so much courage. Admitting to watching gay porn? That's disgusting. What? So, we're all thinking about the Trump stuff. I'll be honest, I'm kind of numb to it at this point, but I did have a funny thought after the assassination attempt. You know that trope in like old shows and movies where a character gets bonked on the head and their entire personality just flip-flops? What if the bullet nicked Trump just right and he came back as like the wokest guy ever? You know? His first press conference back, he's like, people, we need more gender-neutral bathrooms immediately. That's a really bad Trump, but I had to do it. On a lighter note, I recently became an uncle. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, my niece was born a few weeks ago on Monday morning, and I got off work like 5 p.m. I had two options. I could drive 10 minutes to the hospital, hold my precious niece on the day she was born, or I could drive 3 hours round trip to East Lansing and do 5 minutes of comedy at a dive bar called Crunchies. I am officially not the Godfather. Speaking of uncles, I saw my conservative uncle a few weeks ago at the family 4th of July cookout, and I came to a pretty funny realization. I think that the people most offended by Pride Month are the same dudes who were the most excited to watch other dudes slurp down wieners in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Yeah, that's pretty dumb. Another thing I think is dumb is the concept of manifestation. This idea you can just will stuff into existence with positive thinking. That does not work. I've never tried it as an adult, but here's how I know. If that shit did work, I would have spent middle school just constantly seeing boobs. Yeah, that's also pretty dumb. Another dumb thing, why is sheriff an elected position? Like, there's got to be a better way to figure that out, you know? That should be a rigid hiring process, not a poster-making contest. I even looked it up. There are 0 prerequisites to run for sheriff in the state of Michigan. Anybody here could do it. Why do we do it that way? Like, what platform does a sheriff even run on? Just, guys, I promise, I'm going to try so hard not to racially profile. Yeah, and I think we got to get this, like, nipped in the bud, because if Kid Rock hears about this shit, he will become a county sheriff. That would be funny, but I don't want to get a ticket for drinking Bud Light. Here's another thing I think is stupid. You know those shirts that say, fuck cancer? Why do we do that? I don't like cancer, but why would you poke the bear, you know? You catch more bees with honey. Speaking of bees, I've been thinking a lot lately about 9/11. What?
Hear me out. A lot of people think about 9/11. They think about national tragedy. Some people hear about 9/11. They think about conspiracy theories. But me, I usually think about my 4th grade recess experience on 9/11. We had indoor recess that day, which, prudent decision. Here's what wasn't prudent. They told us the reason we couldn't go outside is because there were bees everywhere. That's a real thing that happened. I was 9 years old. I don't know if you guys have ever been 9 years old, but at that age, the idea that a bunch of bees can form a gang, squat up, and take over my playground is so much scarier than Al-Qaeda. Yeah, it's crazy looking back at like the egregious lies adults tell you as a kid. My parents told me that I was handsome, and I believed them for like 30 years. Why would they do that? That was so mean. Way meaner than being honest. Like, my head is the size of a genetically engineered watermelon. My vibe is that of a Neanderthal. Honestly though, like, kind of on me for believing them. Could have just looked in the mirror, might have noticed. I resemble someone who worships fire and hunts woolly mammoth with a slingshot. The bow and arrow won't be around for another 100 million years. Even my facial expressions are sort of primitive in nature. You know that thing girls complain about? Resting bitch face? I have something called resting itch face. My default facial setting is just a caveman scratching his nuts. In high school, I actually did pretty well on the ACT. Hold your applause. But I did well. I told my buddy, he goes, "Bro, I hope you know, you look dumb as fuck." Another time I was at work, one of my colleagues told me I resemble a business casual ogre. I thought that was hilarious. I really did. Then I took a 23andMe. It came back 80% Polish and 20% Shrek. I'm definitely the more beta version of Shrek, though, because he's all, "Get out me swamp," and I'm just like, "Guys, please, somebody come to my swamp. I am so lonely." A few months ago, I actually got so lonely I did something incredibly desperate. I started stand-up comedy. It's funny, actually. One of the reasons I started is because my therapist told me that I have OCD, and this would be a good way to mitigate my OCD symptoms. What a fucking idiot. I just sit there every day scrolling, obsessing about all the bookings I'm not getting. I will say, though, I think I started stand-up in probably the most badass way possible. I took a class, Comedy 101, punk rock. What's up, Ryan? Classmate. Yeah. It was cool, though. I learned some good stuff in the class. It was a great experience. I would say my number one takeaway from the class is that this shit attracts so many divorcees. People are so stoked to get up here and talk about their ex-spouse to a captive audience. Like, we've all heard the stat. Over 60% of marriage ends in divorce. But here's what nobody tells you. Over 10% of divorce ends in stand-up comedy. All right, I'm going to brag a little before I get out of here because I just became a homeowner recently. Woo! Yeah, thank you. And I live right down the street in Ferndale, right at 8th and Livernois, and people say it's impossible for millennials to afford a house in this economy, and I think that is such bullshit because I crunched the numbers, I worked my ass off, and I made it happen. Here's the secret. You gotta buy a super shitty house. I live so close to 8 Mile, like absurdly close. My bedroom is closer to 8 Mile than it is to my bathroom. It's been getting really hard to sleep at night because it's so loud, so I just bought this white noise machine. There's just one little problem. Turns out that white noise is way less powerful than black noise. Thanks, guys. That's all my time. Give it up for Steve, everybody. Steve.
everybody, your next comedian coming to the stage here at the New Way Bar. Everybody, put your hands together for Heather Jowett. Everybody, Heather Jowett.
Hey guys, I'm gonna try some new stuff, so if it's not good, that's what you get for coming a new way. Okay, here's a list of fish I saw at the aquarium whose names I think are close to crossing a line. Powder brown tang, Spanish hogfish, stars and stripes puffer. This one's really bad. Monkey face prickleback. Someone called me that, I cried like immediately. Bermuda chub. Okay, end of list. All right, here's a riddle. What do you call it when you get high and masturbate? Weed whacking. That one, I wrote that one earlier today. Whoopsie. I wrote that one earlier today. I feel like it's such low-hanging fruit. I can't possibly be the first one to come up with that. Who knows? But I do garden in more than one way, so maybe I am. Catholic churches are really going for it with the names. Our Lady of Immaculate Sorrow. Church of the Holy Tears, right? It's like, I can't tell if we're naming houses of worship or My Chemical Romance song. Every time I'm flying, I experience this weird phenomenon where the person next to me orders a tomato juice. And it confused me for a long time. I was like, this is obviously evidence that I'm living in a simulation. Like, and there's a glitch. I have the tomato juice glitch, right? But the more I thought about it,